Today we're going to continue working on the medieval project. There's this castle right here. It's on the new huge plate that's surrounded by cliff. And I need to create a ramp that's going to allow people to actually get to the entrance of the castle. So my plan is to build a 90-degree ramp, so it's going to have two different sections that go up at a slight angle. Each one actually goes up 3 bricks. And then the flat section in the center, which is raised up by 3 bricks. And the plates are actually just going to rest. The one up against the cliff face rests against some inverted slopes that I added to the cliff face, and the other one is just going to sit on the mills plate. And then I've also used some 1x2 plates with the slide as well, and that's actually what attaches them to the flat section of the ramp. Once that's fitted, I just surrounded it by some light gray brick, and also included in that some masonry brick, and I topped that wall also with some light gray cheese slopes. And just like that, I've got a pretty cool looking ramp that's going to service this drawbridge quite nicely. It might change a little bit there just because all of the studs on the 8x8 plates are exposed, so I might add something to that. And of course, there's going to have to be details added around the ramp as well. The next thing I decided to build is a little building. And this here is a pub. It's got a angled roof. The front entrance there is pretty neat. I framed it using some of the palisade bricks, also some arches. It has windows on either side, which are tan. It has the 1x2 modified plates with the slide on the top and bottom of those. Above the door, I found this really cool piece in my printed drawer. I don't know where that comes from, but it's really neat. I decided to frame that with some small brown arches, and then there's the modified bricks around those with the palisade as well. And there are some pillars on either side here that I created using masonry bricks. The side walls also are built using those palisade bricks. There's a little arch going over top of the window. Some larger tan windows, once again with the rails on the bottom and top. And those are actually framed with an additional brick behind. That's why I'm able to put those studs underneath. On the back side, you'll see a large chimney because there is a fireplace or a cooktop within. This is a pretty cool technique that I use. You can actually see a door right there on its side. I'll show you that once we crack it on open. But yeah, the roof is nicely angled on either side. It's connected using the hinge pieces, and then the tan plate. I decided to put some of these quarter round tiles just to add some texture to it and some color. And I did overhang the roof by 1 stud on the front and also on the back. That allowed me to put these inverted slopes and also the bricks, which sort of conceal the roof nicely. Also, you can see the smoke coming off the chimney there. The chimney was built using these larger slopes in gray. And then I put some 1x2 slopes on the top and some of the 1x3 jumpers. And that allowed me to center the smoke coming off the chimney there. And I built the smoke using some 2x2 circular plate in black, dark gray, light gray, and also white. So the only way that you can crack this open is by removing the roof panels. Fairly easy though, because the roof panels are just held in by these hinged plates. And when I remove both sections of the roof, you can see the brown brickwork that I did there just to match the pitch of the roof. Of course, I could add like cheese slopes and everything to it to make it match even better, just like I did here, but you don't really see that from the exterior. The roof and the bricks on the edge of the roof do a great job of just hiding that. I did decide to add this center beam here because it helps fill the gap where the 2 roofs meet. So I can easily just remove that. And I did put some cheese slopes on the front of it just so it matches the pitch of the roof and sort of fills it in. So there's just some chairs in there, a countertop, and on the countertop is a baguette, a pint, also a pumpkin, and then there's a keg right behind that with some cups on top. And there's also a pitchfork, which is actually the utensil that is used for the cooktop. I guess the cooktop is sort of concealed by this chimney, so you can't really see it from inside, but you can very easily just remove that. And what I did was sideways mount this door, and I did that with the use of headlight bricks. They're actually on the bottom right there. Put them sideways, and that allowed me to put this tile like that, and it holds the cooktop in place. And the cooktop is this door. It's like a jail cell piece. And underneath that, I put some trans red, yellow, and orange pieces. And because it's a jail cell door, it actually has that stud there. And that's how I'm able to attach the drumstick. For right now, I've decided to put the little tavern right over here, just outside of the Black Falcon Knights castle. I think I like the position of it over here. It might change.
I should build some more mocks of this area, and I definitely plan to do that, but I think I want to work on some more landscaping.
This diorama lacks trails. There's just like so many green plates. So I'm going to add my trail. Now I actually extracted this trail from the Winter Village. It was up on the raised platform. That's where the medieval castles used to be. So luckily for me, I could just pull all these parts and reuse them over here. And in some cases, I didn't even have to take them off the 4x4 green plate because they were already on 4x4 green plates. So I just had to swap them out for the 4x4 green plates that are on these mills plates. So it really worked out. Using the quarter round tiles, of course, the 1x1 circular tiles, and some 1x1 studs in tan. Just think it makes a pretty cool trail. So the trail now connects Majesto's Tower with the castle, so it leads up to that ramp there. And then also that goes toward the little bridge that goes over the creek. I also need to work on the same sort of trail over here, connecting the Black Vulcan Knights castle and also the tavern. Now what I should be doing is embedding this trail right into the mills plates. I've done that in my campground, like with the gravel road or the dirt road. I also did that with the burrow, and I've done that with a bunch of my mocks. The issue is it takes a lot of pieces and you need a lot of green wedge plates, and I don't have any green wedge plates. I would like to do that, but it's just not in my cards right now. With that said, though, I am going to go around and I'm going to frame this trail using slopes, cheese slopes, and vegetation. So it's almost going to look like it is embedded anyway. So I don't really mind the fact that it's on top of the green plate. It's not ideal, but I think the end product still looks pretty good. Now, after I placed all the 4x4 plates that already had the parts on them, I went around with my brick separator and moved a bunch of the parts just to make the trail look a little bit more natural. Now I'm actually going around and framing the trail with the brick, slopes, cheese slopes, trees, and I'm also like creating elevated areas with the 2x4 brick that I found on the pad wall the other day. And I'm also adding a bunch of those leaf elements as well. So I'm putting the brick down and then I'm surrounding it by cheese slopes and slopes and then adding leaves and stuff all over that. Also, those little trees, for the most part, I don't like using those, but they do actually look pretty good when they're surrounded by other stuff that's not like pre-molded. So like when you have like a custom tree beside those little spruce trees, it actually looks pretty good. I like using them. And the combination of the parts and everything just really spruces this area up. I think it looks pretty good. Landscaping is key for these projects. You got to just throw as many parts as you possibly can because it just transforms that green plate into something that looks way better. Now I don't really know what else I'm going to do in this area here. I do have the Forestman hideout and then that little tavern and then of course the castles and the bridge. I'm trying to think of other structures that I could build that would look natural in this area, but the last thing I want to do is just add some rocks and also some animals and of course minifigures. And with all of that placed, I think this has truly been transformed. Like it looks substantially better than when we started. It's no longer just a sea of green plate. Now it actually has some texture. It's got some vegetation. It's looking substantially better. Plus it has a tavern. Every medieval area needs a tavern, right? I think so. So I want to continue this exact same style of landscaping over here in this open area, but I also don't know what type of structure I'm going to put over there. And I also want to do that over here by the ramp as well, because this is still looking all flat and green. It needs to change.
As I was saying there, I just think this area here around the ramp actually just needs a bunch more texturing, similar to what I did over here. You add the bricks and the slopes and the cheese slopes, and that'll break up some of that green plate a bit. And then I also need to change up the texture of the ramp. I need to determine what I want to put on there. Maybe some tiles, maybe some quarter round tiles, just to change that up. Maybe I need to raise up the wall another brick as well. I need to go around and I need to change up some of the plate colors up here and blend in that castle there just because it's 2 plates higher than the rest, so I need to do that as well. And then build a little camp for soldiers around the exterior. I'm thinking some sort of little medieval market over here as well. But then for the most part, I think this area just needs to be treated the exact same way as this. And maybe that's where I can put my battle as well, happening just right here on the other side of the river. Now I do have one more little set, and it's Majesto's Magical Workshop. It's hidden right back there. I used to have it where these trees were. I honestly don't know if I like these in this setting, I might be removing those and I might be building custom structures similar to that there. I just think it's better to build some custom stuff along there. I did build a trail going up to Magisto's tower, but I could just reuse that trail for a different structure. So I'm I for sure am going to be phasing out this stuff here just because it is sets. They're classic sets, they're beautiful, but I just want to do something different for this medieval area. I still need to blend in this as well, but to be honest with you, this has taken me all day. I've been doing some other behind the scenes stuff and also working on my other channel as well, which is known as The Brixies. Feel free to check out that channel. Once again, it's just called The Brixies. It's more of a vlog style channel, but I had a lot of fun today just building this ramp, connecting the trails, adding some nice vegetation, and also building a medieval tavern. I think we accomplished a lot, and I'm pretty excited to continue working on this area. Thank you so much for coming on by. Please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Farewell.